The story begins with a truth no one wants to say out loud, a truth you feel every time you walk through the streets of America, a truth you hear in the tremble of people's voices when they talk about the future, a truth you see in the tired eyes of a generation carrying more pain than hope. America is falling, not in buildings, not in politics, not in power, but in something far deeper. America is falling in spirit. People are breaking under the pressure, families are collapsing under stress, hearts are drowning in loneliness, and New York City, the city that once symbolized strength, is now filled with souls struggling to stay upright. But inside this collapse lies a miracle no one expected, a miracle that is giving thousands the strength to stand again, because while America falls apart emotionally, thousands in New York are rising spiritually, thousands are walking away from emptiness and toward purpose, thousands are entering Islam with shaking hands and hopeful hearts, and you must know why. The hook is simple. The country is facing a silent crisis, mental health, despair, isolation, spiritual emptiness. People are searching for something real, something true, something steady, something higher than the chaos swallowing their lives, and in that search, hearts are landing in the one place they never expected, Islam, in the most diverse city in America, in the most fast-paced, stressed, sleepless place on earth. Islam is becoming a lifeline, a refuge, a home. Walk through the subway at 2 a.m. and you will find people curled into their coats, exhausted, beaten by the day, holding their breath through anxiety they cannot explain. Yet in the middle of that darkness you will see a young man in a hoodie reading Quran quietly, his face calm, the noise around him fading because he is anchored to something greater, and people notice, they always notice. A woman sits across from him and wonders why she feels peace just watching him read. A tired construction worker looks at the prayer beads in the young man's hand and feels something warm in his chest. Someone broken, someone hurting, someone drowning in loneliness suddenly feels a pull, a whisper, a spark that says, look into this. These moments are not accidents, they are the beginning of transformations, because Islam is spreading in New York not through force, not through campaigns, not through pressure, but through the quiet power of peace. People see that peace and ask themselves why they do not have it. People feel lost and see Muslims grounded. People see their own life collapsing and see Muslims still standing, and they begin to ask the question that changes everything. What do they have that I am missing? In Queens, you see it clearly, a family rushing into the masjid after a hard week, children laughing, parents exhaling, elders offering warm salams, the air filled with peace that no therapy session or self-help book could ever provide, and non-Muslim neighbors walk by feeling something they cannot explain, a calmness, a unity, a warmth, a sense of meaning, a sense of home. In Brooklyn, you see it too, former atheists, former Christians, former agnostics, former everything, standing in line outside the masjid for Shaida, their voices shaking, tears filling their eyes, whispering words that feel like oxygen after years of suffocating. I testify that there is no God but Allah. It feels like coming back after being lost for a lifetime. In the Bronx, the revival is even more raw, even more emotional. Young men who once walked the streets broken and angry now walk with prayer beads in their hands. Young women who once hid their pain now stand with confidence in hijab. Families that once fell apart now sit together reading Quran at night. Islam didn't just enter these neighborhoods, it healed them. But the question remains, why now, why this moment? Why this city, why thousands? Because America is exhausted, exhausted from pretending everything is okay, exhausted from chasing happiness that never lasts, exhausted from filling their lives with things that do not satisfy the soul. People are waking up and realizing that success without peace is failure, freedom without direction is chaos, pleasure without purpose is emptiness, and Islam gives them what the world stole from them. Islam gives them stillness when the city overwhelms them. Islam gives them discipline when their life feels out of control. Islam gives them clarity when everything feels confusing. Islam gives them hope when the world feels hopeless. Islam gives them Allah, and when you have Allah, you have everything. The revival is not loud, it is not political, it is not forced, it is quiet, it is gentle, it is personal, it is happening in hearts at 3 a.m. when someone cries alone and whispers, God, help me. And Allah responds by guiding them. It is happening in gyms, in taxis, in break rooms, in bedrooms, in classrooms, in hospitals. Islam reaches people exactly where they are, broken or whole, ready or unsure. Because Allah chooses hearts at the perfect time. And now, thousands in New York City are standing at the edge of truth, feeling something inside them shift, something powerful, something they cannot explain. They hear Quran once and something inside them melts. They see a Muslim pray and something inside them softens. They speak to a Muslim coworker and something inside them wakes up. Call it fate, call it destiny, call it divine timing, but it is real, and it is happening right now. America may be falling in spirit, but thousands are rising in faith, and that is a revival you must know about. A revival changing the future of New York City, a revival healing hearts the world thought were beyond repair, and maybe, just maybe, the next heart to rise, the next heart to find peace, the next heart to enter Islam, is the heart watching this video right now. Listen closely. Your soul recognizes truth before your mind does, and when Allah wants to guide someone, He brings them exactly where they need to be, at the exact moment they are ready, even when they don't realize they are ready. This is not the end of the story, this is the beginning. The revival was already spreading through New York City, but part 2 of this story begins in the moments no one sees, the moments between midnight and dawn, when people who once felt hopeless suddenly feel something pulling them toward the truth. A young woman in Manhattan sits alone in her apartment, surrounded by everything she thought would make her happy, yet she feels more empty than ever. She opens her phone, scrolling without purpose, until she stumbles on a recitation of Quran, and the moment she hears it, her heart breaks open, not from sadness, but from recognition. As if her soul had been waiting for that sound her entire life. Across the city, a man in Brooklyn who once mocked religion now stands outside a masjid, listening to the faint sound of prayer inside. He watches people walk out smiling with a peace he has never felt, and something inside him whispers, "Go in," and for the first time in years, he listens. In the Bronx, a group of teenagers sit in a small living room, the lights dim, the air thick with emotion. They talk about their lives, their mistakes, their pain, and one of them says, "I started praying, and I feel alive again," and the room falls silent because every one of them feels the weight of those words. These moments are quiet, but they are powerful. They are the seeds of a spiritual revolution, and as the convert numbers rise, the truth becomes painfully clear. People are not running to Islam because life is easy, they are running to Islam because life is too hard without God. Islam gives them something America never gave them. A place to breathe, a place to heal, a place to find themselves again, a place to be human in a world that keeps trying to turn them into machines. The revival is not about changing the city, it is about changing hearts, and hearts are changing everywhere. On buses, where someone reads Quran in silence, in parks, where someone learns to pray for the first time, in bedrooms, where someone whispers, "Allah, guide me." In classrooms, where a student hides tears after feeling God touch their heart. Thousands are converting, thousands are returning, thousands are waking up to a truth that had been calling them softly their entire lives. Part 2 is simple. The revival is not slowing down, it is spreading, it is growing, it is reaching people just when they need it most. And maybe the next part of the revival is beginning right now. In the heart of the person watching this video,